Alrighty, guys. So we have a jam-packed earnings week this week, and I figured let me break down the Sunday episodes, which typically I make one video on Sunday talking about the stocks for this week, right? The upcoming week. In this case, we're going to split it up. This is part one. We're going to make another video for later tonight, which is part two. So make sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already, because again, we have a lot of stocks to break down, and quite frankly, I can't fit them all in one video. So let's just dive into it, guys. If you all find value, of course, hit that like button and let me know all your thoughts in the comments. And let's just dive into it. Starting off with, let me just name these companies that are reporting earnings this week. This is crazy. So on Monday, we have Tyson. We also have Pinterest, Activision Blizzard, Take-Two. We have Spirit. Those are all on Monday. Chegg, Simon Properties as well. Then on Tuesday, we have Royal Caribbean, BP. We have Hertz. We have companies like Enphase, Chipotle, which I love Chipotle. I'm a big Chipotle guy, so well, I don't own the stock. I love the food. We'll see how the stock ends up doing, guys. We'll see that on Tuesday. We also have, let's see what else here on Tuesday. Yeah, that's pretty much it on Tuesday. On Wednesday, we have Uber, CVS, Wendy's, Dominion Energy, Under Armour, Walt Disney. You guys know Disney, right? That company. The stock has not been doing well. We also have Robinhood, MGM Resorts on Wednesday. Then on Thursday, we have Pepsi, AbbVie, we have PayPal, Cloudflare, Expedia, Lyft, companies like Duke Energy, Toyota, which you guys know Toyota, right? We also have on Friday, let's see here, on Friday we have Honda, and honestly, not the most exciting companies on Friday, but there's at least 15 companies to 20 companies that I'm paying attention to this week. So let's just dive into it. We'll start off with the companies on Monday and maybe Tuesday for this video. Then in part two, we'll cover the rest, and we'll see how far we get. I'm going to limit this video to about 15 minutes. So yeah, make sure to hit that like button. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys. So let's start off with Monday. We have Tyson on Monday, which you guys know, it's not Mike Tyson, it's Tyson Foods, right? Let me pull up Tyson Foods, which the stock has not been doing well at all. You guys can see back in, May, June, the stock was well over 90 bucks. Now it's at pretty much 60, 65. It is down a whopping 30%, something like that. Yeah, about 30% from that point. And if we pull up the 3-year chart, you guys are going to see it's down even more from the $100 high, which I'm not sure if that's the all-time high. Let's make sure here. Yeah, that actually is the all-time high, right around $100. And look at that bearish divergence, guys. Oh, that is ugly. You guys can't see it. Let me actually make this a little bit smaller. You guys see this bearish divergence? Unreal here on Tyson. You guys see that, right? So this thing tanked. Now it's, trying to potentially hold here in the 60s, mid-low 60s, but I'm not convinced it's going to do that quite yet. If we pull back the 4-hour chart, let me make my face a little bit bigger, right? There we go. You guys can see we've been struggling heavily, not just, the past couple weeks, past couple months, at about 65 to 68 bucks. That's been a very big resistance. So I'm going to set my alert at, let's put it at 70 bucks here for Tyson Foods. Markets that were above 70 bucks. If it's able to get out of that point, maybe we could end up catching a trade. Mid-70s, maybe even higher than that is where it could be going. So let's see what else for this. For Monday. Oh yeah, Pinterest. Let's pull up Pinterest. This is one that we've covered time and time again on the channel. We've talked about the ascending triangle that we did see play out. We called that out, a couple weeks ago. We plowed through 26 bucks, and this past week, guys, look at that. We not only took 26 out a couple weeks ago, but now we just took out $28 and we hit $29.40, which is a very good sign for Pinterest. And of course, we sold off on Friday, which we gave back a lot of the gains, but the stock still looks pretty good in my opinion. We're well above the moving averages. We're clearly above 26, which has been, well, it was a multi-month resistance. So we finally got out of that point. Now let's just see if we could retake 28, maybe 29 bucks per share. I'll set my alert right now at 28, and let's peel back the layers a bit. Let's pull up the 3-year chart. Let me do that very quickly. 3-year chart shows obviously Pinterest is down a ton. I mean, the all-time high, I'm not sure if you remember it. Remember this, it was at 90 bucks pretty much, and it got all the way down to $16. That is insane. I mean, that is a drop of 83%. And we can see here, I mean, in my opinion, there's no, well, I don't want to say there's no way it gets back to 90. Maybe in 10 years it does, but I'm not focusing on that $90 level. For me, it's pretty much, it's like a lot of these stocks got in a bubble, guys. You got to realize they might not ever get back to that point. And you got to kind of almost erase that price, the 2021 bubble, erase it out of your mind if you're drawing out lines and charts, because it's very unrealistic because, for this to go back to 90, it has to 3x from here, and that's a big ask. And who knows, maybe it does do that. A lot of these companies probably won't, but some select few might get back to those highs. And maybe Pinterest is one of them. I don't know. But in the short term, my alert's at $28. If that point breaks, where could we be going? I mean, 31.50. Let's see. Let's draw some lines here. 31.50, mid 30s, based on these candles from back in 2021. You guys can see drawing them based on the bottom of those candles there. Not the most clean looking chart here, but all I'm saying is $28, guys. Let's see if it could retake that this upcoming week. That is Pinterest, ticker symbol PINS, and they report earnings on Monday. Let me double check. I'm pretty sure Monday, tomorrow after the close, right? Monday, tomorrow. And we also have Activision Blizzard, ticker symbol ATVI, and TTWO. TTWO is another, video game company, and these stocks have not been doing well at all. I mean, Activision Blizzard, past couple weeks, we've gotten ourselves in the head and shoulders. That's not looking good at all. Technically, if we pull up the oval tool, let me do that. You guys can see left shoulder, head, right shoulder, clear as day. And now, based on Friday's action last week in general, we were more towards the end of last week. We started dumping. Friday, the stock went down 2.4%. Not good at all. And this is pretty much one bad piece of news away from that right shoulder fully connecting, fully completing. And who knows, maybe that bad piece of news could come from earnings, or maybe not. We don't know. And I'm not going to speculate. I'm not going to gamble on earnings. Like you guys know, I don't do that. So we'll have to wait and see. Earnings are on Monday for this company. Keep your eyes on that head and shoulders. And we also have TTWO. Let me pull that up, which this chart looks awful. Maybe it looks a little bit better than ATVI, but not by much. Not by much by any stretch of the imagination, guys. Let's see. They're on Monday after the bell, and we can see, they are fighting to hold the 180 and the 50 SMAs here, but at the same time, we're clearly putting in a lower high at this point. You guys can see it here. If I get the circle tool, clear lower highs are being put in on this, and if I show you guys what's going on here, let me actually pull this up. It looks like we double topped last week. Do you not see that? It looks like we clearly double topped last week, and then we ended up dumping aggressively on Friday, down about 5%. So not the best setup at all heading into earnings by any stretch of the imagination, guys, here for TTWO. Not looking good, but we'll see. Who knows? Anything could happen with these numbers. Stocks, there's no, it's not Back to the Future where we have, the almanac where we can look at all the scores of the sports games, right, or how all these stocks perform. We don't know what's going to happen. It's not like we know exactly what's going to happen. So we have to play it by ear, guys, as always, and that is Pinterest, Activision, TTWO. What else here? We had Tyson. Then we also have on Monday Spirit, which I don't really want to talk too much about. Spirit, what the heck's the ticker on that? Save, right? Yeah, Spirit. Keep your eyes on that airline. Let's see here. What else? Chegg, which I used to use Chegg a lot when I was in college, guys. I'm sure a lot of you have as well. Chegg has been destroyed. The stock was $30, and I remember one earnings report while we covered it, and it went ballistic. Was it last time or one time we covered it? It might have been a while ago. This thing, look at this, guys. It collapsed. It was this right here in 2021, November, so about a year and some change ago. It was at $60. They reported the stock cut in half. I was like, holy crap. I think you guys remember that. Maybe you do, you don't. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. But yeah, Chegg is this week, and it's actually fighting to hold an uptrend. This thing is fighting, and on Friday it had a 2% green day in the midst of the reds. So I don't know. This actually looks pretty decent on the chart. It really does. And we have an inverse head and shoulders forming. You guys probably can, or maybe you can't see it. I'll draw it out to make it easy for you all. You guys can see that right here, right? We have that inverse head and shoulders. So, guys, Chegg does not look that bad. Earnings are on Monday. Watch out for it. Let's see what else we have here on Monday. Simon Properties, which I think is SPG. Am I right? Am I wrong? We shall see, guys. SPG, Simon Property Group. Yeah. Wow, this thing has been crushing it. Look at that. This is at $133 a share right now, or it hit that, and it closed at roughly $130 on Friday. Wow, this thing is crushing. Are we near all-time highs? Actually, I don't even know what the all-time high is on Simon Property Group. Oh my God, it was back in 2016, oh wow, look at that, $230. Then we got all the way down to 40 during the COVID crash, and now we're still digging ourselves out of that. So I'm familiar with the company. It's a REIT, right? But it's not like one of the ones that I've ever owned. I've never owned it. It owns a bunch of malls, right? So that's what Simon Property Group is. Let me look that up. Unless I'm getting it confused, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure, guys. Again, I own a couple of REITs. And I kind of, the way I look at REITs, I don't do much active research into them. I kind of just buy them and put them in the filing cabinet. Let's see here. What does Simon Property Group own? It's American Real Estate Investment Trust that owns shopping malls, outlet centers, community lifestyle centers, and so forth. According to good old Wikipedia, guys. For me, guys, REITs they're solid. I love them. I own Realty Income. I own Stag. I also own, what's the other one? Vici Properties, which I've done very well on throughout the course of the last year and some change. But I don't own SPG. Maybe at some point in the future I will, but at this point I feel like, at least in the short term, it's run away from me at least a little bit. So we're 11 minutes in. We're doing very good on time. If you guys haven't hit that like button yet, hit that like button and make sure to get up to 15 stocks from Moomoo. If you haven't done so already, up to 15 stocks, each up to $2,000. And you could also get up to 12 stocks from Webull with any amount deposited. It's free money, guys. You might as well get the free money. It also helps out the channel. All of those links are down below. And feel free to check out my Patreon. I actually just started a Patreon portfolio for Tier 1, and there's 20 spots available, limited, access for now. 20 spots. If you guys want to see me build this portfolio, full transparency, doing that on Patreon, link down below, and there's a bunch of other perks on Patreon as well. That's not the only thing I do on there. We do a bunch of stuff. So check it out, link down below. And with that being said, let's continue on here. So Tuesday, we have Royal Caribbean, which is RCL? No, that does not sound right. Actually, no, it's right. RCL. Yeah, they're on Tuesday. Pre-market, they're usually in the morning. And this stock's been crushing it, by the way. A lot of these cruise lines, they're on Tuesday in the morning. A lot of these cruise lines have been doing very well. Even though on Friday it went down a little bit, whatever. If we're looking at the chart before that, it's done very well. So this is a bit alarming to me. I'm not going to lie. I wouldn't FOMO into something like this, running heavily into the earnings. I mean, just about a month ago, the stock was under 50. Now it's $68. It's up 40% in just under a month. So keep that in mind. But hey, it's one that I'm going to be watching regardless, just because I'm watching a bunch of stocks, guys, even though I'm not going to trade most of them. And that's just the reality of the matter. I'm very picky with what I'm trading, with what I'm buying, investing in. But I still watch a lot of companies and track a lot of companies because A, it's what I do, right? B, I have this YouTube channel. And C, I like doing it. And, I like just keeping up with what in the world is going on, right? So what else is on Tuesday? We have BP on Tuesday, which this stock chart looks pretty decent. We've pulled back a little bit. A lot of energy companies pulled back a bit last week. XLE is one that I was going to get into. Thankfully, I didn't, because if I did, I would have lost money on it. That would have not been great. But yeah, XLE's one. Even though I didn't get in it, I might still consider it this upcoming week. It looks pretty decent here, holding the trend as of now. We do have a bit of an ascending triangle forming on this as well. So I'm watching XLE Energy ETF, also BP with earnings coming up on Tuesday. We also have on Tuesday Hertz, which I don't even know what the ticker is on that. Is it HRTX? That's what it should be. No, it's not that. Let's see. Is it HER? Let's just type it in. HER. It's HTZ. Okay, Hertz is on Tuesday. This has been breaking out like all stocks pretty much, and it's pulled back a bit in the past day or two. So maybe we could see something on this one in the mid-low 17s. But for me, guys, there's other better options other than Hertz. But I'm just watching it again because of earnings. We also have Enphase on Tuesday, which is one that we nailed many times. We called this thing out many times over the past couple of months, but it kind of looks like now, especially with the benefit of hindsight, that it got ahead of itself. Hit 340, got a bit frothy, and now in the past couple of months, it's really been destroyed. It's been making lower lows, lower highs, and really it has not, notice, it has not participated in the overall stock market rally. Look at Triple Q in the past couple weeks, right? This thing has gone in the past month from 260 to 305. That's an 18% move. But guess what? Enphase in the past month, look at this, has gone down. Actually, the past 2 months, it's gone down about 35%. So this is one of the stocks that has not participated in the rally. Keep that in mind. And we have noticed during times of earnings, this thing is extremely volatile. And, in the past multiple earnings, I feel like it's gone up each time. Maybe not this quarter right here, which this is, when was this? Q1 of 2022. It went down. Other than that, the past 2 quarters that reported, this thing has ripped like no other. From 215 to 300 2 quarters ago. Last quarter, it went from 235 to over 300. So let's see what it does, guys. This is one that I'm very curious to track. And if we pull the layers back a bit, which I always tell you guys to do, I recommend you look at all the time frames, right? Enphase looks pretty solid. It looks like it's holding trend here. And again, it got very frothy at 340. Now we're at 220. If this thing were to dip under 200, I might take a swing at it for a longer-term swing trade, longer-term play. For sure, if it comes down to 185, 80, 190, even we're in the low 200s, maybe 200 flat. We'll see. The trend looks pretty good on the 3-year. And let's do one more for this video. Then again, we're going to do a part 2. So make sure you guys subscribe if you haven't done so already. Let's finish off with Chipotle. Let's save the best for last. Even though Chipotle broke my heart recently, guys, they broke my heart. I told you all the trick, right? The trick used to be to get double, go there, get a bowl. You go to Chipotle, you get a bowl, right? You get double chicken, you get double rice, and guess what else you do? You pretty much get double everything, and you get a tortilla on the side, and it would come out to be like $10 for pretty much 2 big meals with the tortilla on the side, because then you make, a burrito, then you have the bowl, right? You guys know what I mean. Now they're charging for the tortilla. They completely broke my heart, and now they pretty much raised the prices across the board. So it's not that great of a deal anymore. But trust me, I still go to Chipotle. But the golden days where the tortilla was free, where it was like $10 for a nice massive 2 meals, those days are gone. Now it's like $15. You get the tortilla, and you got to pay a bunch more for the chicken. You guys know meat prices have gone up. Everything has gone up. Freaking inflation, right? But anyway, Chipotle, it's one that I'm watching regardless. Even though now they're charging extra for everything, which makes sense, guys. I mean, I'm kind of joking. It's these companies. They have to do something at the end of the day. It's either they eat the costs or they pass the costs on to the consumer. And what are they going to do? They're going to eat some costs for a little bit. They're going to try and do that for a little bit, or maybe not. Maybe they just pass the costs on to the customers right away. But in this case, they definitely were eating costs for a while. And now they're starting to raise prices, the tortilla and so forth. And the stock is looking pretty decent. I mean, the past month, this thing is up 30%, which is really alarming. A lot of these are just up a ton heading into earnings, which always makes me a bit nervous. I mean, if earnings drop the ball, you guys saw what happened with Apple and all the big tech names last week. They all ran up. They got too excited heading into earnings, and well, they collapsed afterwards. Excuse me. So that's something that I'm, worried about here with Chipotle. But either way, I'm watching it, and if it were to cool off, let's say, to the 1600s, low 1600s, maybe mid 15s, that could be a spot where I'd consider it. And again, we'll see how earnings end up coming out here on Tuesday. So what do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. As always, hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe, and don't forget to get all your free money linked down below from Moomoo and from Weeble. Feel free to I'm choking, guys. Feel free to check out the Patreon as well if you guys want access to that Patreon portfolio, which we're going to be building, ever so slightly, and over time we're going to see how it does, right? So if you want to be a part of that, join the community, get more access to a bunch, access to me, charts, all that good stuff I'm posting throughout the day. Patreon. I'll see you guys there. Peace out.